Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel Brown, a Senior Analyst with Heavy Reading. I'm here with Martin Taylor, Chief Technology Officer at Metaswitch. Hi Martin, good to see you. So we're talking about NFV. What kind of progress have you seen over the past 12 months?
So we've seen two things happening in parallel. We've seen the big telcos polish their architectural plans and get detailed deployment designs ready to go. Not in production yet, but getting very close. But a huge amount of effort going into making sure that that infrastructure is right and fully featured and capable of supporting all the VNFs they want to deploy. But in parallel with that, we've seen smaller operators particularly doing tactical deployments of virtualized network functions. Not sweating about the grand NFV strategy, simply taking the view that if they can deploy a network function that's based on a piece of software, running on perhaps a little local virtualized VMware environment, rather than deploying a physical appliance, then that makes sense. And we've got, I guess, maybe the order of 20 or 30 deployments like that. We expect that over time those will evolve into something more complete and more orchestrated and so on. But right now, those virtualized deployments are working just fine.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the kind of mix of tactical and strategic in the market. And obviously, a lot of people see OpenStack as very important to NFV at the Vim layer. Is it ready? Would you say it's ready for production yet?
Well, certainly, I think we're seeing pretty universally the larger telcos are saying, OpenStack is the direction we need to take. They're doing a lot of work making sure that they're comfortable with it, that it's ready. It's made big strides over the last couple of releases. Areas that we identified a year or so ago that needed some attention, some quite detailed technical low-level stuff around non-uniform memory access and support for SRIOV, those kinds of things that give us good packet performance. Those things have been addressed. We spent a lot of time qualifying our VNFs on multiple different OpenStack distros, and we're pretty comfortable now that OpenStack is ready to go, and we're certainly saying to our customers, our VNFs are fully GA, fully certified, and will run on an OpenStack environment. We just haven't yet got any customers who've got to the point with OpenStack and all of the pieces around it that they're actually yet ready to put that into production. But like I say, it's getting close.
And what I was curious, what are the big differences between the various distributions? I mean, people have got different extensions, all this kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, so the main differences are around how OpenStack gets deployed and configured. It's a very, very complex system. There's a lot of interlocking parts. I've heard it said that an OpenStack deployments are like snowflakes. There's no two alike, and that's one of the challenges here. So a lot of the differences come from how OpenStack is installed and initially configured. So the different distros tend to come with different installers, and each different installer tends to have a different result in terms of what the OpenStack looks like. So we've been just making sure that our VNFs will work on particular installers, and in some cases refining the detailed configurations that are needed to give us a good result. And one of the things we pay most attention to is how you get 5 nines availability from a cloud deployed VNF. And the issue there, of course, is that OpenStack and VMware, for that matter, don't deliver 5 nines availability. Generally, the services that we're supporting need that, particularly around voice and IMS, SBC, and so on. So, we have detailed guidelines of how to deploy our VNFs across multiple cloud instances, so that even if an entire cloud fails, the service keeps on running, and that's how we deliver 5 nines availability.
Great, thanks. And so, what do you see coming up over the next 12 months or so?
So I think a couple of things are interesting. A year ago, if you'd asked me, what do you think is going to happen in the orchestration space, I would have said, I think that space is going to be dominated by commercial products. What we've seen over the last 12 months, and I think looking forward over the next 12 months, the big upsurge in open source implementations of orchestration. So we've seen products like Cloudify from Gigaspaces, Rift.io, which is just recently come out. We've got Telefonica's open source Mano initiative. This is really sort of changing the landscape a little bit around orchestration. So we've done quite a bit of work onboarding with those, but we expect to start seeing some serious telco uptake in those areas, and I think that's interesting. The other thing we're hearing more and more about is containers. So, I think people are beginning to understand that using hypervisors is kind of virtualization 1.0. That there are other ways of deploying workloads in cloud environments, and containers is an example of that. That VNFs that are architected for the cloud, so-called cloud-native VNFs, and VNFs that embody a kind of microservices architecture where everything's very decomposed, are very well suited for deployment in containers. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to start seeing some serious experimentation with containers amongst the telcos, and questions being asked of VNF vendors, can you guys support your VNFs running in containers? And we're certainly ready for that. And containers are making a big splash in the enterprise world. As I say, it won't be long before they make a big impact in NFV as well.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, Martin.
Pleasure.